Baby Driver. So Baby Driver is a professional getaway driver hired by Kevin Spacey to perform some of this robbery getaway driver, and then the way he drive is really good. After he performed his final job, then he's really plan to settle down, but there are still some problem going on down the road, as in you can say a lot of bad things going on. This film is directed by Edgar Wright, who also gave you Hot Fuzz, Edward's End, Scott Pilgrim, Shaun of the Dead. I can still say Ant-Man is one of his films, but still Edgar Wright has been one of my favorite directors of all time because of how very stylish. You can see that how he crafted his film, and then the way the style of the film, and then you will get to appreciate it because of how he directed the film, very choppy, and some moments that really get to the point, and then there are a lot of fun within the scenes. So I'm gonna give you the good stuff and the bad stuff about Baby Driver. So the good stuff, what I just said in the beginning, Edgar Wright's style has always been there. It has never changed. It is as always as entertaining as ever. Because when you see Edgar Wright directing a film, you will see all his choppiness straight to the point. It doesn't feel like it's pending too long of a scene. It gets straight to the point so that it doesn't feel draggy at all. That is what I love about Edgar Wright. And then particularly in this film, when it comes to some of the action scene, I think this is his first car chase scene. The way Edgar Wright directed some of these action sequences or this car stunt, you can say it was amazing. It was really eye candy. My mind was blown how smart or how he coordinate this car chase scene. It was really good, to be honest. I've never seen such a good car chase scene since Bourne Identity or Bourne Supremacy, the Bourne series. I don't think that the Fast is as good as this one because for Fast series is more on destruction, this and that, but this one really more like a car chase scene, and then he's trying to get away from the cops, and the smart coordination is really played on. So I think this is really good. And then, to be honest, this is the one thing that I never expected. The performance in this film was really good. Particularly the main actor who played Baby, Ansel Elgort, I'm not too sure how you pronounce that, the guy from Fault in Our Stars. He was okay, he's not too fascinating. Lily James was okay as well, it's not too fancy, but the main few actors that really did very well was Kevin Spacey, Jamie Foxx, and Jon Hamm and John Bernthal. These four guys were amazing in this film. Particularly, I would say that Jamie Foxx is the one that really stand out the more because he's trying to be a very dick in this film. Yes, I said dick. He's trying to bring out the kind of rageness out of Baby, so that's why his role was kind of important as well. He has a purpose in this film to rage out Baby, make him angry in that sense. And then Jon Hamm, his performance was fine as well. Particularly, I like Kevin Spacey character, but his performance was not bad. But personally, I think that the way they write Kevin Spacey character was really pretty well done, to be honest. I really like his character more than I thought. I thought that he's gonna be a dick like Jamie Foxx, but turns out he wasn't. He was a really well written kind of character in that sense. And then John Bernthal, I think that he was okay. He was also being a dick, but not as much of a dick like Jamie Foxx. But John Bernthal was trying to prove a point, even though he was in this film like 10 minutes or 20 minutes, even though in that short period of time he did a very good job with this film as well. Okay, this is the one thing I really always enjoyed from Edgar Wright. It was the smart dialogue. So every dialogue, even though sometimes it's a bit cheesy or it's a bit too nerdy or smarty, but in this film they made it very smart. Some of the conversation you don't really need to get too deep to the point. Some of the conversation like between Kevin Spacey and this character Baby, the conversation between the two, they made sense in a way, but at the same time it was written really smart, even though there are moments that are really cheesy and such, but it makes sense because of how the world conversations are. So I really do appreciate that. Okay, those are the good parts of the film. Now I'm gonna have to talk about the bad stuff. And to be honest, when I entered this film, since the title stated Baby Driver, I was really expecting a lot of driving or escaping from the cars and such. I do get that. Car chasing, it was really good. My problem is that there's not a lot of driving, particularly around the second act towards the third act. A bit too slow down, a bit too toned down to my sense. I know that Baby is supposed to be trying to settle his life with his new girlfriend played by Lily James, but the thing is that to me is a bit too slow. At the same time, I think the action plays very big part in this sense, because when it comes to the action where Baby was driving, the motions was too fast and then you buy the action. Then when it comes to slowing down, it's a bit too slow and a bit too draggy for my taste. But I do understand where Edgar Wright is going from. And then this is one thing that I did not really get from this one, that I'm not having as much fun as I had with his other previous film. Personally, my favorite Edgar Wright film is and because I really had a lot of fun with it. And even though that movie, it doesn't really totally make sense, but for me, I had a lot of fun with it. I had a lot of fun with Hot Fuzz as well. I had a lot of fun with Shaun of the Dead, but Scott Pilgrim, meh. But this, and then I really do have fun with Ant-Man as well, because Ant-Man was initially directed by Edgar Wright, but I also had a lot of fun with it. But with this one, I did not had as much fun as I had with his previous film. Maybe it's due to there's not a lot of driving, but when it comes to the driving sequences and the action, I tell you, I had a lot of fun with this. If Edgar Wright really speed up the tone down moments and get more action or the driving parts, I think that this film will be a hell lot of fun. Other than that, I have not a lot of bad things to say other than these few points. That is the overall film. To be honest, there's not a lot to talk about with this film. If you go and watch this film, you will understand what I'm talking about. So there's not really a lot to talk about. So I'm gonna tell you my final thoughts on Baby Driver. It's a very smart, stylish, cool, and very entertaining film, but it does lack a certain parts or certain mood during the film. Like I said, during the second phase, it really lacks that certain mood or feel, because how it got toned down in the second phase. But still, I would say that this is a very entertaining film. I did enjoy most of the time, so I'm going to give Baby Driver a 7 out of 10. So this is my review for Edgar Wright Baby Driver. To be honest, I had a lot of hope with this film, because maybe I want to see how Edgar Wright direct you can say a car chase or car related film, Fast and the Furious kind of series directed by Edgar Wright. But to the point, I didn't get too much of it, because maybe Edgar Wright wanted more of a character development, which he did very well, to be honest. But just that the second act was a bit, like I repeated so many times, it's a bit toned down in my taste, but I wanted more driving in this scene. But still, this film is a very entertaining film. So this is my review for Baby Driver, and I'll see you next time.